Okay, hey guys.
Hi.
How you doing? We are in Tennessee, Nashville.
Woo, Nashville.
No.
Yeah, we're in Nashville, Tennessee, staying at the Grand Ole RV Resort. So we just wanted to do a little recap that we've been meaning to do about Kentucky. The things that we suggest a full-time RVer go experience, even if you're just traveling there for a couple days. Dinners, entertainment, adventures, all sorts of different things, places to stay. We're going to put some links down on the corners of the areas where we suggest you stay. We had a great time at all of them. We said two places, three places we stayed.
Yeah, a few different places.
There's a couple that we don't recommend, and there's a couple we do. So we have our little trusty notebook here so we don't miss too much stuff.
First place is Churchill Downs, right?
Churchill Downs.
Absolutely.
If you go to Kentucky,
To Louisville, specifically.
yeah, Louisville, Kentucky, and you are into horse racing, into just fun, into atmospheres, go to Churchill Downs. I know we've done a video already on how we went to Churchill Downs and stuff, but like I said, there's just a recap of the stuff we've done so far. They had, we went for Halloween there. They had Halloween at Churchill Downs for the girls. That was a blast.
Breeders' Cup. Even, you know what, even if you're not really like into horse racing or anything like that, it was really just cool just to go there and experience it. I think I maybe mentioned this in the other video or not. I can't remember, but just like the whole atmosphere there, you feel like you're in like horse sort of royalty kind of an area. So it was really nice just to go there, even if you're not a horse racing fan, even if you don't bet on the horses. It was fun just to go there, just to experience it, just to see the live races. Just the crowd is amazing. Yeah, it was a good time.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
And I apologize, it's raining out right now.
Yeah, it might be a
So
little
I don't know if you
crackly.
can hear it or not. Hopefully you can't, but you might be able to. We got a new camera and we got a mic and everything now, so we're using the GoPro and the camera now and getting a little bit better footage, better pictures and stuff. But the Samsung phone just wasn't cutting it. Number 2, Louisville Slugger. So Louisville, Kentucky again. We went to the Louisville Slugger Museum. Highly recommend this. Baseball fan, doesn't even matter. We're not huge baseball fans, but
No.
to appreciate the history, to appreciate how things are made, that's what I like. We've done lots of facility tours. I just like to see how things are made, and this was one place that was interactive for families, kids, adults, whatever the case.
Yeah.
But then you can do a little tour inside the facility on how they do it. You couldn't take any video or anything. They wouldn't let you, but just the experience we had. It was downtown. They had this, 90-foot baseball bat that in another video you've probably seen. So it was amazing.
I think just the cool thing about it was like the longevity just of Louisville Slugger and like the history of their family and just kind of how it all started, and then the fact that they were able to basically like supply the entire world at this point.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how they've kind of built their company and from the very beginning. It was just it really interesting. After we left Louisville, we went to Mammoth Cave National Park, which is just out beside Rock City. We stayed at Rock Cabins. So basically it's like this cute little town. It's got kind of like an old antique general store. It's a really like big tourist town. They have like Dinosaur World, they have zip lines, like haunted houses. We were kind of there off season, so there wasn't a lot of things that were open that we were able to do. But in the spring and the summertime, it would be amazing for families to go there probably and experience some of the cool things, it's like a little tourist town, like I said, so it was good.
They have this old antique general store that I was talking to the guy, and the owner has been collecting artifacts in this store for 60 years. And I got to meet him, and I was talking to one of his guys who was working there. He was there for 7 years working with him or something like that, but just unbelievable the stuff he had. He had old 1932 tires, and then he had Muhammad Ali signed pictures to
Like an old slot machine.
old slot, like you name it, you would find it in there.
Yeah,
it was a little
for sure.
overpriced, but if you're gonna buy something, you're gonna want that item. You're gonna buy it.
It was cool just to walk through there though, and the kids were like, you know, little old music boxes and, you know, like candy, and then they also support some of the local, some local vendors, I guess, there by selling like, you know, jams and jellies and candy and, you know, chips and dried goods and stuff like that too. So it was it was neat to go there and look around.
Yeah, and that's where we did the Mammoth Caves.
Yeah, so we went to Mammoth Cave National Park. We did, they have a lot of different tours that you can experience there. We did domes and dripstones. So we basically walked down, I think it was like 200 stairs.
Yeah.
200 stairs down. We had a little bit of footage. Obviously, it's because it's really dark in there. Really hard to get good footage with the GoPro especially. They kind of want you not to like use a flash, and they're very kind of protective, obviously, because it's a national monument. So they want to really preserve the history and basically the longevity, so people can go there and visit it for years and years and years to come.
You weren't even allowed to touch the walls.
Yeah, not allowed to touch anything.
No, it was, yeah, we kind of wanted to respect it a little bit. So we didn't use a flash. We didn't do anything. There was a couple people that did, but that's their own business. We like I said, respect it. So we got the footage we did. It was just kind of grainy and orange and dark, like a cave would be. So I'll throw a couple little clips on what we experienced in there, but I couldn't really make a video just on that. So we decided to do this recap on some of the stuff that we experienced that we want to show you guys, and we just don't have enough footage to make a whole segment about it.
Yeah. Definitely recommend going to Mammoth Caves though, and no matter which tour that you take, they were really knowledgeable about the caves. They did a whole bunch of cool little interactive things. It was just neat, as like for us, that was basically that's the first kind of cave that I've ever done. The kids obviously loved it. Mark thought it was really interesting too. So we definitely, as a first cave tour, being one of the biggest caves like in North America, definitely a good one to go to. And no matter what tour that you take, they'd probably all be really amazing. If I was going to go back, we definitely do another one, I think.
So they had something about 400 miles of mined caves explored right now that you can do tours, and they all join up with each other somewhere, and that's the amazing part. And they're suspecting that there's about 600 miles more that they haven't even touched yet, which just blows my mind when you see the maps and what we just went through, and there's another 1,000 miles. It's crazy.
Or 600 miles.
Yeah. Sorry, 600 miles. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
It is mind-boggling for sure. Yeah.
We covered the Zip Dinosaur World, all that.
Yeah,
type of
we
stuff.
stayed at a little place though, just outside in Rock City, called Rock Cabins. So it's just kind of a little small little place. An older gentleman and his wife own it. They basically rent out these tiny little cabins that are basically made of stone. So really, really cute, that you can stay overnight there. And they also have a couple of campground spots. So we obviously stayed in the trailer in the little campground spot there for a few days, so that we could do the Mammoth Cave tour.
Yeah. And it was, like you said, Ange said, there's 8 of them. I think there's about 7 or 8 of these things. We had a massive thunderstorm / tornado / flood warning one of the nights we were there. And this gentleman unsuspectingly called us and said, "We're thinking about you. Is there anything you need? If you feel unsafe in your trailer, I'm gonna leave a key in one of the rock cabins. Feel free to go in there."
Yeah, and so we took him up on that. It started off as just like a watch, and then it was upgraded to a warning. So then we decided it was probably like 11 o'clock at night, I think. So we woke the kids up out of bed, took them, obviously the wind is blowing, stuff is blowing everywhere, you can barely see. We got into the cabin, and then Mark was going to turn on the TV just to kind of see if we could follow what was going on. and then the power went out.
in the whole city.
Like in the whole city. So
yeah, so a tree hit some power line. I don't even know what happened, but yeah, all of a sudden the power went out for a couple hours. So now we're right in the dark. You can't see anything. There's no lights out there. So it was. You're doing full-time RVing. You're gonna have some interesting
you
adventures.
might have some adventures, yeah, definitely.
And we've definitely come across a couple different places that.
The weather's unpredictable, really,
yeah.
so you kind of have to do what you can. But it was really nice, obviously, that he let us kind of stay there. We didn't stay there for long, probably like an hour and a half or something like that. The storm kind of passed over, the wind died down, it still continued to rain a little bit, it was pretty sloppy outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely made us feel a little bit better about it. So the last place that we stayed in Kentucky, we stayed at Sheltowee Trace. That's in Corbin, Kentucky. Basically, they have like tenting sites, and then they have very, very few RV sites. Because it's kind of like I feel like it's, how do you even explain it? It's basically like a park, but you'd like take like a Girl Guide camp there or things like that. They have like, there's so many different sort of things going on. They have like a zip line. They have these little sort of like wagons that you can sleep in. They have little tiny cabins. They have tent sites, RV sites.
Yeah.
They have a little park. They have a pond. You can kind of like rent like paddle boards and stuff like that. So it's kind of almost like a resort unto itself, but like with so many sort of moving parts.
It's like a KOA, I'm assuming, but not a KOA. Like it's got all sorts of stuff you could possibly want there.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Obviously busy in the spring and the summertime. When we were there, almost nothing going on. We were just there to go to the national park and spend some time there. So we just looked for a place that was sort of convenient off the interstate, so that we could go do the national park. So we went to, the first place that we hiked to the next day was to the National Arch. So it's basically like an arch that's just been worn away over time. We kind of just walked out over basically across from it, I guess.
Oh, there's a train.
And now the train's going by. Oh, it's a short one though.
Quick one. Awesome.
So we just basically walked out there. It was just a quick little 5-minute walk from the parking lot. Took a few pictures, which Mark will plug in. And then we drove to Yahoo Falls and the Yahoo Arch. That was basically...
That was a 5 to 6 mile hike.
Yeah.
You can make it as long or short as you want. We wanted to go all the way to the arch, and it's just they call it an in and out, or an in and back trail. So it's no loop. You go all the way out, and then you come back the same way. So the arch is at the very end. The waterfall, we came back and just went down some stairs, and then trekked a little bit more to see the waterfall.
Yeah.
This waterfall right here is fantastic.
Yeah,
like,
super neat.
The pictures that we had, just being underneath this waterfall,
was a really cool experience. Yeah.
It was beautiful.
When we came, we kind of walked over top of it, like above it. We have some pictures where we walked above it, and then we did our hike all the way to the end, and then came back, and then went underneath the waterfall. So if you wanted to come there and not do the hike all the way to the arch, you could definitely do the waterfall just above it and below it, and you'd still be able to see everything. It's amazing. Definitely recommend it.
And we kept going after the arch, not really knowing what to expect, and we got lost for a bit.
Yeah. So we met somebody else, and we were like, they were like, yeah, I think it's an in and back. And so we're like, okay, we'll turn back and go the other way, because we could have walked for a long time. Yeah. And then on the way back to Sheltowee Trace, we stopped at Cumberland Falls. That's basically, they call it sort of like the Niagara of Kentucky, which it's not. It's nothing like Niagara Falls. Obviously, I've never been there, but just pictures. But it's beautiful falls, and you can just get out of the car in the parking lot, and it's just like a 2-minute walk. You can kind of stand above it, basically, and then kind of off to the side of it.
Yeah, so this is the fall. I'll put some footage of the falls there. We took some. The Niagara Falls part of it, how it's so big, and just the tonnage of water that pours over. It's not a small little stream of waterfall like the last one you guys seen there.
In Yahoo Falls, yeah.
In Yahoo Falls. This one is just massive amounts of water. And it's loud, real loud, and it just carries on for a while. I don't even know how high it would be, from the water up to the top, maybe 30 feet, maybe say 50 feet or less.
Yeah.
It's not crazy tall, but
yeah, depending on the time of year probably that you go to, will depend on how much water is actually flowing over. And then some people were talking about if you go at certain times of the year, you can actually see like full trees coming over the edge and stuff. So that would be definitely something cool to see. The kids were like, oh, it looks like foam at the bottom or like soap at the bottom because there's so much water coming over and it's basically creating like soap at the bottom, they said.
The garbage we've seen there. So we thought people, there's, on the sides, there was garbage, there's pop cans, garbage, all sorts of different things. And we're wondering if it was litter or what it was. But we read that the water gets so high at certain times of the year that when it goes high and then drops back down, the rocks on the side collect all the garbage. And they try to clean it up the best they can, but they just can't keep up. It looks like nobody's cleaned it up for years. So if they're cleaning up all the time, I could just imagine the garbage that just
that's basically
piles
coming
up.
over the edge.
Yeah.
So it's kind of sad, obviously. You know, making sure that people are putting their garbage where it's supposed to, but anything kind of blows away in the wind and it ends up in the river and then it collects on the side on the rocks and stuff. So definitely made it for like a not as pleasant of a look, I guess, but still kind of very mammoth in size, and it was cool. It was cool to experience, anyways.
So
that is Kentucky.
Yeah.
Except for one more place. We did stop at a really cool place to eat. In Corbin as well.
Oh, yes.
Where was that? Oh, it's Smoky Bear's Barbecue. So it's this little tiny joint, not sort of fast food, like you can take out and stuff, I think, there, but...
I'm not sure if it's a chain or if it's just a standalone type. I've never seen another one yet.
Yeah, I never seen another one either, but...
But it's like 15 tables, really tiny, really intimate. It's barbecue. So you have your ribs, you have your brisket, you have chicken, you have
coleslaw,
like all that type of thing. But it was fantastic. And for the price of the dinner to the food you get.
Yeah, you get a lot of food.
I
like shared a platter and it was
yeah.
massive, and even then we couldn't finish it. The kids were eating some of it. They shared like a little tiny platter and stuff. There was a lot of food there.
So the portions here are definitely way bigger that we've noticed
in some places,
in the States.
yeah, for sure.
But that would highly recommend Smoky Bear Diner. That was
Smoky Bear's Barbecue.
Smoky Bear's Barbecue. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think that concludes
Kentucky.
it. Yeah, that's the high points of Kentucky that we experienced. I'm sure there's more out there. We just didn't have months and months to spend in Kentucky, but we were there for a couple weeks, experienced what we wanted to experience in the time frame, and now we're in Nashville. And the weather's getting nicer.
A little bit.
And it's the experience so far. Video coming up with Pigeon Forge in Chattanooga. It's been amazing. And we're not even halfway through Tennessee yet. So stay tuned for the rest of the videos coming up. And I hope you guys are enjoying this. Please like and subscribe if you guys want to get some notifications on the next videos coming up.
We appreciate it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. No thumbs down.
Well, thumbs down, whatever.
Comment, yeah.
We would love to hear you guys' comments.
Yeah,
good,
say anything.
Bad, just let us know what we can do to improve your experience with our videos. We're new at this, so this is more for our memories as well. We're not here to get 1 million subscribers. We're just here to entertain you guys and give you guys some tips on your future travels that we've been through that might help you save some money, save time, enjoy different things. So until then, we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
No.